It's your host from the most, Ben Beduto, with the Horror Healing YouTube channel and the South Jersey Horror Podcast. Today, I'm interviewing a very young, talented, and beautiful actress, Katie Silverman, who plays Huxley in the movie The Exorcists, plural, not the 1973, not William Peter Blatty, The Exorcist. It's The Exorcists from 2023, who stars Katie Silverman, Dub Bradley, Denice Duff, and a few other characters in the movie who I'm not too familiar with. But from what I understand, and I hope this bio is right, because you know how there's a bunch of lies spreading on the internet about people and actors and stuff, and it really burns my ass when I look like a fool when I tell people their bios, and none of this stuff's incorrect. So, Katie Silverman, everyone, how are you doing, Katie?
I am really good. I'm so happy to be here.
I am thrilled. Just watched the movie last night for the first time. You were phenomenal. You did great. You nailed
You?
it. You nailed the role as being possessed by the demon Lamech. I loved it. I was actually in shock in a good way because it was done so well. Um, I'm a huge sucker for possessions and exorcism movies. I've always liked that subgenre in the horror community. So, and people think I'm weird, but I don't care what they think. That's just me. So, so what I got from you is a small bio. You were born in Los Angeles. Am I correct so far? Okay,
Yes,
good
all
for
good. So
one.
I'll say like ding 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 if you're wrong.
Okay, just go. Sorry, wrong head. Just stop me midway if you have to. I don't give a shit. So you started acting at the age of 14. You
No,
nope.
I've been acting since I was 6.
Oh wow. See, look, see, and it's wrong already. Look at these
At
people.
1 point on the board.
All right, now I'm back
For
to
the
zero.
internet.
Okay. Well, you first appeared on stage in the production of Peter Pan.
That's
Uh,
true. I was like 3.5 then, so long
oh my
time.
goodness. Wow. Look at you
Yeah,
now in the big leagues. I love it. I love it. This is awesome.
leveling up.
So so you played the role of Michael in the movie in the Peter Pan play. Is that correct?
I think I was John, but that's gonna be my mom who did that wrong. So
Okay. Mom. Okay. Okay. So this part says by the age of 6, you were cast to play young Amelia in ABC's Private Practice in
yes,
2011.
that
Okay.
sounds right.
Okay. I'm back on the scoreboard. All right. I love this. You have appeared in many television shows, movies, and commercials, most notably the Like Father, Like Daughter campaign. This is the Toys R Us for Star Wars Force Awakens commercial. New Girl,
Mhm.
Happy Endings, and General Hospital.
Mhm.
Okay, you're also
All good
minor in
so far.
Tennessee, which you didn't know about that?
No, I said that's all good.
Surprise! Anyway, um, you have a love for singing, acting, and dancing. All that came together on stage with the age of 12 when you were casted and played the role of Jackie Bouvier in Michael
Mhm.
Wilson's production of Grey Gardens at the Center Theater Group's, I can't pronounce this word, Amundsen in Los Angeles.
Amundsen, close enough.
Okay, word, I like it. Okay, so you won 2 awards. I don't know if you're aware of this or not. You won 2 awards according to IMDb.
Yeah, I believe I did.
Okay, you won 2 awards. Okay, first one's in 2016. You won the Young Entertainer Award for Best Young Actress, live theater at the Young Entertainer Awards. And in 2021, you won the Best Feature Award at the Los Angeles International Film Festival, and you were nominated for 4 other awards. And I hope that's all correct. If it is, congratulations. That's awesome. That's a huge achievement. Um, I'm making you feel better because I'm trying to.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, winning awards at such a young age is a huge achievement for any actress in Hollywood. So pat yourself on the back. You deserve them. I mean, I hope you get an award for your movie, The Exorcist. Plural people, plural exorcists, and because you did such a good job. I
Thank
was thoroughly impressed with the film. I'm very hard to impress. I'm a very hard critiquer when it comes to horror films, but this movie was I was actually blown away. I loved it so much because I'm a huge supporter of independent movies. So,
I'm
is there
so
anything you like to tell about yourself that I have not mentioned that you like to tell the audience?
let me think. I mean, I think you pretty much got it in terms of career stuff. I've been acting for a long time. I really just love acting. I love doing different kinds of roles. So this was really cool for me because I mean, if you're possessed, like physically you're the victim, but what you're actually playing and all the lines you're saying are the demon. So like I got to actually like be a villain for the first time. So that was really, really cool. Yeah.
So I love the twist in the movie because I wasn't expected. Okay, if you have never seen this movie, people, spoiler alert, if you've never seen this movie before, I like the twist where everyone in the movie is possessed. That
Hmm.
was I did not see that coming. You had it was you first of all, and then Denise Duff, sister Caroline, Catherine, I can't remember her name, her character's
Hmm.
name, got possessed. Then your father was also possessed,
Uh-huh.
and all the other sneaky teenagers who decided to be really stupid and sneak into yeah, whatever. And so they all
Hmm.
possessed too.
And they all get
They're
possessed,
like
yeah.
they're like your little henchmen in the movie. I love it.
No, that was so much fun. I remember like at the table read, it was just so much fun like watching everyone be like, "Oh wait, I'm also possessed." Like as we kept going through. It was just super fun. And like I don't know, I even at the screening, everybody was like gasping and laughing. It was amazing.
Well, I thought some parts were entertaining, that's for sure. Um, Especially the teenagers who sneak in who decide hey to have those lines. They weren't cheesy lines, but they were had like that the comical stuff going on a little bit, like
Mhm.
puns, I guess you want to call them. I don't know. It's just,
Right, yeah.
so before the interview, I asked you if you've seen The Exorcist. William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist. You said you have, and all the possessed scenes. Was that like research, or you just wanted to watch the movie for the hell of it?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think I wanted to watch it and I kind of know what I was getting into, but there was definitely like research of, like how have other people handled, because movie possession is and movie exorcisms are very different from like real life exorcisms in some ways. I actually think exorcists stood kind of a lot closer to the reality in terms of like all the prayers and stuff, which was cool. But I think seeing, sort of different, obviously really famous and influential takes on possession was really cool.
I'm shocked. I mean, like I said, I was very impressed with the film. Um, there were some scenes that paid homage to William Peter Blatty's version of The Exorcist. I don't know if you noticed that or not. The two different types of waters that Doug Bradley pulled out, like one's regular tap water, one's holy water. That was straight paying homage to The Exorcist. I thought that was really cool how they brought that in there. Um, what was it like working with Doug Bradley, by the way?
He was so cool. He was amazing. I was um like at first I had like only before I had met him, visually only seen him as Pinhead. So like which he's not in real life. So that was like but he's just like so talented and really intense in what he brought to the work, but then like a super nice guy. So that was super fun. And in terms of him exercising me, I felt like we got like kind of a really good tempo going. Because it was such a quick shoot. We did the whole thing in like 6 days. So
Oh
seeing him
wow.
work, yeah, we got like 1 to 2 takes of each scene, like max. So seeing how well he was able to like work under the pressure was super inspiring. It was really, really fun.
I find it ironic how in Hellraiser he plays a hell priest. When this movie
Hmm.
he plays a Catholic priest. I'm like, it's like define irony. So I brought that
Hmm.
with my girlfriend last night. She's like, "You're right. That is really weird." But it was just how roles just switched all of a sudden. You're like, "Okay, whatever. It worked. He does such a great job." So
Hmm.
this movie around centers around your character, obviously Huxley, who is possessed by the demon Lamech, whose goal is to pretty much own your soul.
Hmm.
Um, was it scary for you knowing the background of your character?
What do you mean? Like,
I mean, there's like no cut scenes and no back scenes of how your character got possessed in the first place, unless I
yeah.
missed something. I don't know.
No, I don't know how they don't say. Well, there's a reference to like my mom was involved in a cult, and
Okay,
so she's like sold my soul, I believe. I think that's what the canonical truth is.
okay, okay. Makes sense. I mean, the Colts, you don't want to fuck with them, right? Just
Anyway, like, Mom, did you really sell my soul to your cult again? I mean, classic mother-daughter
why'd you
stuff.
get out of it, Mom? Hope something good, a new purse or something. I hope so. Anyway, okay. So, like I said, there's no backstory how, but in your own thoughts, and you said it was like because your mom, the character's mom was in the cult, and
Mhm.
that's how I guess she made a trade with the devil or some shit. I don't know. which
Mhm.
typically goes for like background stories and cults, which I think is really annoying sometimes, especially when you have to sell your soul to get your daughter possessed. I don't know. Was she going for the Mom of Year award or something? Because
No, it's definitely not good parenting. Um, but I think it's really interesting because then my dad also, spoilers too, he also sells his soul, to try to save me and get me back. So I think if you wanted to like kind of interpret it on the level of like things parents do that are maybe misguided to try to help their children, or I think it could just be, fun plot background, depending on how you look at it. Um, yeah.
so was it actually you speaking the demon's voice, or was this another actress doing the voice? Because I know on the credits it shows someone's doing the voice, but did you do any speaking parts yourself?
So most of the voice was Michelle Bauer. I don't know if it was every line or if there's anything that's my voice, but I think the whole time, I think the whole time it's Lamech, it's her.
Okay. All right, cool. Every actress and actor has a strategy preparing for a role. So each person is unique in how they do it. What were your strategies preparing for this role as Huxley being possessed in this film?
So this was definitely a bit different from other roles I've prepared for. Because again, like every time, and even though they replaced my voice, I was saying the lines when we were filming, and in terms of the physical movements, I'm somebody who's like being possessed by an alien entity. But like in terms of like what I'm thinking like I am this ancient biblical demon possessing a teenage girl. So like everything is coming from that angle. So I actually did read the Bible scenes involving Lamech. I got like some background on like, okay, who is he? Like what do we know about him in terms of he's listed in some like biblical genealogies, and then just really watching exorcism scenes like from The Exorcist and from the Pope's Exorcist like movies, but also from like real life exorcisms and reading about like Annalise Michelle and other famous exorcisms, and really seeing like okay, like what's the outward physical like behavior and what's the visual of that, and then also who am I as this demon? What do I want? What are my approaches? And also, this is really like dorky, but like looking at myself in the mirror doing different faces and being like demonic, and sometimes being like, oh, that's really creepy, and other times like, oh my god, that's like horrible, and I can't do that. Or trying out different voices. Like even, I'd be in the car with my mom and I'd be like, what do you think of this voice, mom? Because at the time we didn't know if I was going to be like voiced over or not. And she'd be like, I don't know, like it's a little trite. And then we would like, tinker with it. It was really fun to prep for.
It sounds like you did a lot of research. And I love it. I love your answer. It is fantastic. I mean, I'm the same way. If I'm going to play a partner role, I'm like, okay, what movies do I need to watch? What books do I need to read? Whose characters do I have to study? It's I love it's great. If I could give you a high five, I would. So there
Thank
we go.
you.
Awesome. You did such. It's. I'm glad to hear that because a lot of actors don't prepare for roles strategically like that. But yet, you kind of makes you wonder, like, what did they do wrong? But anyway, what was it like on set? I mean, to prepare for that kind of stuff. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's a possession film. So I need to know
Mhm.
what was like on set for you.
So, okay, first of all, again, it was a 6 day shoot. So it was an absolute like whirlwind round the clock, kind of like the exorcism in the movie. Like people were like digging in and we were getting it done. We were also in an actual mausoleum. I forget the number. There were like 140,000, it might be more, like dead bodies
Holy
around us at
shit.
all times.
Wow.
Yeah. So right away, it was, like kind of this like creepy, like we're in a cemetery vibe. And like the intensity and the speed. And then at the same time, just like having a lot of fun, like joking around with everybody, hanging out, running lines, and like knowing we're only gonna have like one take of each scene. So it's like, let's just go for it. Hair and makeup for me was like a big part of it and really, really fun. Greg Leitner and Jamie Gasper were my makeup artists. And so I would kind of just sit there. And the first time I didn't know what I was going to end up looking like. So I was just sitting there for like an hour or two, like just getting more and more makeup put on my face and my body and my hair getting messed up. And then I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, that's like terrifying. And then the contact lenses, everybody who had them, they were like these like big like white sheets basically, so you couldn't see when they were in. So anybody who has those white eyes is like fully blind while they're shooting that scene. So like that was a very unique aspect because like especially like for me when I was like getting exercise, like I'm like listening to footsteps to like know where who to like turn my head and like where everybody is. So that was super cool and fun. And it was just like very intense in a really kind of awesome way. Because there were days when we would start filming at 4 and we would go through to like 6 a.m. Um, and just keep like going and going in this kind of like we're all in this together, like group project, collaborative, all-nighter way, which was really, really cool. And I got to be in bed for a lot of it. So maybe that's why I wasn't complaining.
Well, it's pretty easy for you then. So
I was just kind of lying there. I was also like strapped down though. So I would be like blind and strapped down and like sticky with all this like blood and fake blood and like turning like I have a glass of water. And everyone was really, really nice. So it was like the most fun I think I've ever had on set. It was just such a cool, unique shoot in so many ways.
if I had the opportunity, like you're gonna put in a movie with Dub Bradley and Denice Duff, I would do whatever the fuck you want me to do. So,
Right? Like, yeah, okay, you can like strap me in. And there was like, a bedwetting scene. I think they cut it. I don't think it made it into the movie, but like it's like soaking wet
yeah.
bed and like tied down. I was like, this is worth it. Like this is pretty cool.
Sorry about that. My girlfriend must be home. My dogs are barking like crazy.
Hmm.
So will you be quiet? Please, thank you. Anyway, um, so knowing this, I heard that it's rumored that this movie is based on a true story, and I tried digging around of which true story it is based on. Did they give you any insight of which true story this movie is based on?
I can't say that they did. Is it based on a true story or based on true events? Because I think it might
Um,
be.
well, because before I interview somebody, and before I watched it first, I watched the movie, and then
Mhm.
I dig around on the internet to see what the movie's about. So it says based on a true story. So I'm like, okay. So I'm digging around. I dug around for like 3 hours last night trying to find this thing. I'm like, what movie is this? What event is this movie based on? Because I couldn't find nothing. So I was wondering if you could provide some insight, or someone told you what true story this is based on.
I don't actually know. I'm sure like Jose, who's the writer director, could give you a better answer. I think what I did hear talked about and what for me it really resembled, and this was helpful in prep, was the Annalise Michelle story. Because that
Yeah,
was, like multiple priests kind of around the clock. And she obviously eventually died, and that was really tragic and horrible. And I think in terms of having, it's all real exorcism prayers. So if I had gotten possessed being in that mausoleum, I'd be exorcised for real by now. And it was, kind of in terms of the more like unpleasant aspects of exorcism of having me be like tied down and like trapped in this room and like malnourished. I think that was all kind of reminiscent of like the Annalise Michelle story and like the real life, like other than the supernatural horror, like the practical horrors of exorcising somebody. I think that's
right.
where at least my inspiration was coming from.
That makes sense. I mean, because Annalise was about your age, so um, okay, cool. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, a lot of movies are based on that event, or like the Exorcism, not the Exorcism. The Exorcism was based on the 14-year-old boy in New York. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
it makes sense. Okay, cool. So, do you have any like memorable or favorite scenes in the movie at all?
Oh, I have so many favorite scenes. So this isn't, I'm not even in this, but like the scene, anything with a frying pan where anyone takes anyone out with a frying pan. Because also everyone at first was like, well, why is there a frying pan in this church? And like, I think they added the line where it's like, oh God, it's got all the comforts of home at the beginning, and they like look at the frying pan. But every time, it's just so badass. So yeah, any frying pan, anything. And then in terms of a scene to film, like definitely that last intense exorcism with Doug Bradley was like super cool. Um, he had like so much dialogue, and my dialogue was all like hiss and like thrash. But it was really fun to shoot that. And then also for me at the end, when I wake up and I'm like, where's my dad? And I'm like, literally, I have no memory of how I got here, and I'm bloodied and strapped down in bed with a dead priest on top of me. I'm like, I'm just waking up. I'm like, where's my dad? So, that was just a little moment that I find really fun. Oh, and like, also all the stuff with the plot twist you were talking about, where Gabe Pranter, who played my dad, we first realize that he's evil, and he like starts like punching the teenager. That was just really fun to watch in the movie. I like that was one of those moments when I was like, oh damn. Like I forgot I was watching The Exorcists and I was just watching like whoa.
That's cool. The frying pan, I have to agree that was something not expected in the movie, especially when Denise Duff's character, bong, he's like, oh shit, she's down for the count. So
Mhm.
the I was hoping somebody would throw like a pun is like, you got baked, bitch, and hand off the frying pan. I don't know,
Mhm.
something. Or fry this motherfucker. I don't know.
Mhm.
Anyway, so you're starting a movie called The Vampire Machine that's coming up soon.
Yes.
So can you say anything about that movie at all? It's in pre-production.
I don't know what I'm like allowed to say about it or how much, but I will say that it's really funny. It's horror comedy. It's three teenagers who sneak into an arcade to play video games for free at night. The same night that two burglars sneak in to rob the arcade, but the arcade is actually home to an ancient vampiress who is has lured us into her trap. So it's like very campy, like very 80s, um, and also really, really fun. So I'm
I'm
excited
trying
about
to
that.
think. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Vampires has an arcade for a home. So like,
Right.
okay, I'm like, all right. I'll go for it. I'm down. All right. I'll have to check it out when it comes out and release. So I'm a huge
Mhm.
80s fan. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 45 next month. So 80s is like a huge thing for me. So I'm definitely check that out because I'm also drawn into horror movies or series that are drawn that are surrounding the 80s. So I'm definitely have to check that out. And I'm gonna promote the shit out of that on my show. So
Awesome.
anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have you on my show.
Thank
Um,
you so much. This has been so
so
much fun. I'm really glad you had me.
I'm super stoked. I'm glad you were here too. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all possessed alike, the beautiful, the talented Katie Silverman, the wonderful Jesus Christ. I'm trying to say my words here, but I'm tongue tied. So
Hmm.
I wish you a wonderful day, and I wish you the best in your career. And I want to see you in a lot more movies. You're such a talented actress, and you're great.
Thank
So,
you so much. It's really great meeting you.
okay, all right, thank you, and I will see you on the big screen.
Just shut your pretty